Hey guys, welcome to Troy Time. Hey, check it out. Today we're going to make an awesome pot roast in minutes, not hours. This thing is so awesome. It's so tender. It's so good. We're actually going to make the whole meal and it's super easy. Anyone can do it. Traditionally, if you were going to make a pot roast, you'd have to plan the night before. You'd have to get all the ingredients. You'd have to start it early in the morning and let it cook all day in a slow cooker before it was finally ready after 8 hours, right? Well, this we're going to do in just 90 minutes. That's awesome. That means you can pick up the ingredients the day of on the way home from work and still have a hot pot roast ready for your family in just 90 minutes. Touch time on this is just 4 minutes. It's so quick. It's so easy. Anyone can do it. It's absolutely awesome. We're going to tell you about how to do it coming up next. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so here's everything we need for this awesome meal. We've got just over a 2-pound beef pot roast, and we bought baby carrots and baby potatoes so that we can just throw them in the pot with no chopping at all. For our spices, we'll be using onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, beef bouillon, oil, salt and pepper, and a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Having those baby-sized veggies really just makes things easy. That's one way that we're keeping it easy. Here's the next. All right, guys, we're going to be using this awesome machine right here. This is the Nesco or Carry canner. It's awesome. You've seen it in my other videos where we're canning. Now we're going to use it to cook. I've been using it to cook more and more now, doing awesome things, cooking fish from frozen. Today we're doing pot roast, so let's do that. Here's our pot roast, and we're just going to cut it into thirds. Simple as that. We're going to make them kind of even, and that's just going to help the water get all around them and help it cook a little more even and better to get the flavor infused. We just cut it in equal thirds, and quite literally, even though it's super easy, that's probably the hardest part of this whole recipe. That's why I say anyone can do this. So let's get going, baby. Let's get it on. We're going to throw a little olive oil in the bottom of the pan, maybe about 2 tablespoons or so. This is an optional step. Generally, people would do that when they're searing the meat, but we're not going to sear it. We're just going to throw our ingredients right in there. Here we've got some beef bouillon. We've got, I don't know, it's a capful, maybe a quarter of a cup, something like that. I'm pretty loose with my measurements whenever I do this. So we're just going to put that in there with the oil, and we're going to start adding our other ingredients. I use about 1 tablespoon for most of the dry ingredients, but you could do it to taste. It really isn't going to matter that much because that's just going to end up being our marinade. Then we've thrown in our paprika, and we've thrown in some of the other pepper and salt. And then the garlic and onion is coming up next. And we're just going to stir everything around and give it just a nice mix. Give it a nice mix so that everything just kind of congeals together. And that's basically going to be our gravy or our broth that everything cooks in. Here you want to put the meat in, and the amount of liquid should just come up to the top of the meat. So we added about 2 quarts of water or so, roughly, and that's what we're going to use to cook our beef. Okay, so we're going to close our pot, turn it closed. We're going to make sure that our little pressure knob is set to airtight, and we're going to do this pressure cook, okay? And we're going to pressure cook it for 50 minutes. All right, we'll set this to 50, and you want to make sure that you hit start. When you hit start, you should see the running pattern. One thing to note is that this is the sum total of our dishes for cooking. So if you were to serve this on paper plates, you would have almost 0 dishes. It's awesome. So here you'll notice that I'll turn my canner 90 degrees as it sits on the counter. That's just so that when the air vents, it doesn't go directly up into the cupboard. So turning it now before it gets pressurized is a good idea. Here's a little better shot of that. The steam's just going to go straight up. You wouldn't want that to go underneath your cabinet at all. You want to make sure that the steam path is clear. All right, so all the venting should be happening from the steam right out through that little red nipple. You don't want to see steam coming from around the rim. If you do, then you've got a problem with your seal. So just open it back up and realign your seal, maybe clean off any contaminants. That might be on the rubber seal inside, but generally that's not a problem. So here we are at 50 minutes, and we're going to set this thing and walk away. It's great. We've got nothing to do in that time, just other than go take care of other tasks. It makes cooking simple. So after 50 minutes, we're ready to open this thing up, and we're going to do a quick release, which means we're just going to flick the switch and let all the air out. Okay, and with that, now it's time to open up the pot. Man, does it smell good, guys. That's awesome stuff inside. Now we just simply pour our veggies in right on top of the beef. There's our potatoes, and there's our carrots. And we are good to go, guys. This is going to come out awesome. Now, I didn't catch the shot, but we are going to set the canner to pressure cook again for 5 minutes. So just pressure cook, 5 minutes, and then push start. And of course, smelling the beef, Finn has come to investigate, and he thinks it smells good too. So he's always coming around when we're using the canner. He knows there's something good going on. Okay, this time before opening, we are going to wait 10 minutes before we do the release. So after 10 minutes, you'll notice it's 8 o'clock. We started this at 6:30 precisely. So this was 90 minutes total from starting the preparation to getting it out of the pot. Guys, this smells so good. These veggies are so good. Look at all those carrots on top. Oh, I'm loving it. This is such a great meal. The potatoes, awesome. The beef, awesome. Anybody can do this, and it comes out so good. This is a quintessential, just comfort meal that everyone loves. Everyone can do this. We're taking the beef out of the pot now. We'll put it on a plate. And all we got to do is just shred this up with a couple forks, and it's going to come out perfect. You'll notice we didn't brown it. We didn't put any kind of crust on it or anything like that. We just chose to simply throw it in there. And honestly, I can't tell a difference at the end. Some people say it seals in the flavor better. Trust me, you're not going to notice. So this beef just came out awesome. We did it just a super simple way. And honestly, all you have to do is just touch it with a couple of forks, and you'll be good to go as far as just serving it. And the veggies came out great as well. Now, we did leave the skin on the potatoes, so that'll keep all the gravy from just penetrating them and getting them soaked. But if you like them like that, then you can just cut the potatoes, quarter them, and then the juice will flow inside them. But the veggies came out perfect, man. Look at this great pile of vegetables. And they do have some of the flavor of the beef, but if you want, you can cut them open and just pour more juice on top. And that's what we'll do with the beef as well. So a little bit of the extra beef from the pot on top makes for an awesome little condiment that you can serve them with. And this is such a great meal. It's so warm. It's so inviting. It's a great comfort meal that everyone loves. And there's a lot of servings here. You can feed several people. Can you imagine making this meal for your partner after they've been at work, like I say, working late, and you're not the normal chef, and you make this amazing meal? They'd be so happy. Even remember to keep the gravy, right? Because the broth that's in there we can use for gravy, we can use for stew, we can use for different dipping sauces, and it's just awesome. It's a great flavoring. So don't throw that out. You definitely want to keep that. All right, so here we have it plated up, and it's awesome, guys. This was so easy. The whole meal, the potatoes and the carrots and the beef, all in one pot, almost no dishes. It's so flavorful. It comes out so good. If you wanted to put a little of the beef juice on top, that's a great idea. You could cut the vegetables first and then put the beef juice on top. That way it soaks in a little better. Or you could eat it just like this. So lots of different ways, and it's a great meal that everyone loves, and anyone can do this, just like I say. And obviously here I'm eating it with vegetables, but you could make it separate and even with the vegetables for another meal. Or you could have it over bread, or you could have it over rice. There's lots of ways to have roast beef. Roast beef sliders are really good. I'll be using some of this meat for that as well, some of the extra. And it's just a really great thing to make that you can use in a lot of different ways. Also, remember, if you've got a lot of leftovers, you can throw them right back in that canner, and you can can them and put them on a shelf stable. So it's just a great thing to make. A lot of different ways to use it. And same thing with the veggies. You don't have to eat them all in this serving. You can use them in other things. You could mash the potatoes down and make mashed potatoes. A lot of different stuff. You could actually blend them all together and make like a potato and carrot mash, which is really good. You can quarter them here as I've done, and if you pour the juice over them, then that'll infuse the juice in them. That makes them juicy as well. And don't throw that juice out. The broth is awesome, guys. There's lots of different ways to use it, okay? Put it in a mason jar and put it in a fridge overnight, and it's going to do awesome stuff for you. You can use this you can thicken it to make a soup, or you can thicken it to make a stew. You can also just leave it like this and use it like an au jus, like a dipping sauce. That's what I like to do with it. When it comes out of the fridge, all the fat's going to congeal on the top, and it's going to look like this. Now, you can either leave that in for flavor, which some people do, or you could take it out if you wanted to be a little more healthy. I tend to take it out. So I just scrape it off the top with a spoon or a fork, and it'll come right out. And you're left with just an awesome beef-flavored starter that you can use in tons of different ways. So what I like to do is I just take a little bit out, pour it in a bowl, heat it up for about 2 minutes in the microwave, and you've got an awesome dipping sauce, guys. This is like an au jus that you could either pour over a sandwich. Here I'm dipping just French fries in it because it tastes so awesome, and I really like it. So lots of different ways to use that juice as well. All right, guys, so that's what we got for you today. Just an awesome way to make a quick and easy pot roast that anyone can do. There's a lot of great videos coming up on my channel. Make sure you like this video. Try to subscribe to my channel if you would. I got a lot of great stuff coming. We've got some more cooking stuff. We're making turkey jerky. We've got some survival stuff coming. We've got some more canning stuff on the way, and just always lots of good plant stuff. That indoor garden is just doing awesome, guys. Lots more updates coming for that. But yeah, subscribe to my channel. Check out some of the other videos. Maybe you haven't seen some of those other categories. Thanks for being here, guys. I always appreciate it. This is Troy Time. We'll talk to you again soon. I'm out.